Josh,
Yeah.
have you watched the films?
I haven't watched the films again.
Have you watched either of the films?
I have seen them, but I've not watched them recently. No.
So, what you're saying is we're off to a really good start.
Yeah, really good start. It seems as though I seem to think that I know the films off by heart, and then I just don't watch them.
Yes.
So it's good. It's good. It's good preparation that has happened before we do this.
What were you doing instead of watching the films?
I was watching Solo
You were watching Solo
for the second time
for the second time.
because I love it.
Do you want to talk about that?
We could talk about
Should
it.
we go over it a little bit?
It's not exactly going to.
Should we just go immediately on a tangent away from the podcast?
Yeah, you know what?
We've not even said who we are yet.
Well, yeah, we're the Rebooters.
Yeah.
And we talk about reboots and remakes.
Yep.
So today we're going to discuss Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
And Solo.
And Solo, which is not a remake at all. It's just a
bit of a reboot. It's part of a reboot effort.
Yeah.
I think it counts.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you could say a reboot effort. It's a prequel sequel. Midquel.
A midquel.
A midquel.
Is that the new term?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Midquel.
So you loved Solo so much.
I warranted a second time. Yeah.
Did you see it on your own, or have you seen it with friends?
No, I saw it with friends. So I seen it with my dad the first time.
Right.
So obviously the excitement level was a bit kicked up because, I've got quite a good Star Wars relationship with my dad.
Right.
So that was good. And then friends wanted to see it, so I went with them. And then my girlfriend wants to see it as well.
So you might be seeing Solo 3 times.
3 times.
You're going to be responsible for about 20% of that film's taken because it's not doing very well.
Yeah, no, it's not doing very well. It had a 300 million budget and it's raked in 100 million domestically.
That's the lowest Star Wars ever, isn't it?
Yeah, grossing ever. It's not the lowest rated.
It's not the lowest rated.
It's the second lowest rated film.
Is it?
Yeah.
After what? What's the
Attack of the
lowest?
Clones.
Oh.
So
It's not high praise, really.
No, not really. No. When you're trying to fend off Attack of the Clones from bottom spot, it's kind of
so
it's not good.
I saw Solo
the
day after it came out.
Okay.
With a few friends, and those friends are massive Star Wars fans. I am not as much. I like the Star Wars films,
but you're not a diehard fan.
But I'm not a diehard fan. I've not even seen The Last Jedi yet. That's how much of a non-diehard fan.
You keep saying this every week I see you.
I know, because I
should see it.
I know I should see it, but I've not seen it, and so with trepidation, I went to see Solo, and it was just exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah, but did it not raise your expectations a little tiny bit?
I thought he was decent. Alden Emmerich?
Eldritch. Well, Elrich, yeah.
However you pronounce his name. I thought he was a decent hand.
Yeah, I agree. He is amazing.
He had the look down for a couple of scenes. He looked like the spit of Harrison Ford
when he's still in doorways and things like that.
Yeah, and he had like the little smirk down as well, which I liked about it. Mm-hmm. But Emilia Clarke was god awful.
I've heard a lot of people say this, and I don't think she was too bad. But I understand.
She was awful.
I understand why people think that. I don't think she's the best actress in the world. But I mean, for a Star Wars film, I don't think people have been complaining about the dialogue and the sort of terrible.
Didn't think the dialogue was too bad. I feel like it was a bit muddled because of the change of directors.
Yeah, I think that's.
I'm a big fan of Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Like I love the Lego Movie. I think 21 Jump Street is genius.
Yeah.
So I had high hopes when they were in charge of it. I was like, okay, we're gonna have witty dialogue here. There's gonna be some wink into the screen sort of thing, some clever meta stuff going on. And I felt like that only really happened at the very beginning of the film. In that kind of first scene where it was like you're just clicking your fingers off.
I think that whole introduction was just them. I think that was something they filmed and that Ron Howard didn't really touch.
I think that makes sense. And then from there, like the train sequence is decent. I mean, it's a spoiler, so we're going to have to tell people we're spoilering.
I think it's been out for a week now, and it's Star Wars. I don't think a lot of people care.
Well, there will be spoilers then.
If you haven't seen it, then don't listen.
Then just skip for like...
It's not exactly spoilers because everyone thinks it's mediocre anyway.
Also, it's a prequel, so you can't really spoil all that much.
Not really.
Apart from really the reveal at the end.
Did you know that Han died?
Surprise. Yeah, did you know that Han died?
Oh my god.
I liked it when they met up with Chewie.
Yeah, Chewie's introduction was spot on. Like, seeing it, you thought, that could have been done.
That's why they're best friends.
Smart. It was a smart thing.
I liked it because it established that their relationship was built on both of them freeing each other from a prison, effectively.
Yeah, they kind of owe each other's back a little bit.
Yeah, so I liked that. But there were some bits that I didn't like. So I hated the bit where at the beginning of the film, Han Solo is trying to he's trying to escape his city, and to do so he goes through like a customs terminal thing to sign up to become a soldier. And
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, the guard was like, "What's your family name, Han?" And Han's like, "I've not got one." So he just puts down Han Solo, and it's like no one ever really wondered why he was called Han Solo.
And this is the whole thing of the film. Like, a lot of people are thinking, just why has this been made? Because no one really wanted it. No one really wanted to know.
And a similar thing happened when Han and Chewie meet up. He says, like, "What's your name?" And Chewbacca replies, "Chewbacca." And he's like, "Oh, that's a bit long. I'll have to think of a nickname for you." And it's like, no one ever thought, wow, I wonder where Chewie came as a nickname. Like, genuinely, what's the point? I liked Woody Harrelson. I thought he was decent as a sort of father figure character, scoundrelly.
Yeah, well, if you need that kind of role, who are you going to book?
Yeah, Woody was cool in it. I liked Paul Bettany as a villain.
He was a really good change because is it Michael Ashley or something?
I can't remember his name. I know who you're talking about. He was meant to play like a lion, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like an alien sort of hybrid something.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be like a CG character at first, but then they changed him for Paul Bettany because
so glad they changed it.
over. But yeah, he was really good. I thought he was a really good villain.
Yeah, he was
more so than the person that gets revealed.
Oh, well, I don't know if we want to even go into that.
Well,
we might have to.
This is where the problem with canon stuff comes in. Oh, it's canon, so we can put it in.
All the scenes with Lando, I loved.
Yeah,
the first card game was brilliant, and obviously, like the whole "I won the Millennium Falcon in a card game." The expectations going into that was so great, and you were so excited for it. And Lando is so cocky, and then the reveal that the cockiness is kind of misplaced when the Falcon's all chained up and in a garage somewhere, and Donald Glover just brings so much energy and life to that role.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else could have done that really. But
no,
I think that's the good point about the film is a lot of people just played the roles how they want to play them.
Yeah,
you can even tell it in Chewbacca as well. Like obviously the guy who plays him now.
Yeah, I like it.
The Finnish basketballer.
Yeah,
I mean he said in the interview he's like basically I talked to Peter Mayhew and I was trying to play it like him, but at the end of the day, like there's new scenes and you've got to just do what you want to do. Yeah, like, you could tell in the way he's played him, he's just taken it as his own. So.
Yeah, Tandy Newton was decent, or she wasn't in it enough.
Yeah, she wasn't in it enough, I don't think. They could have kept her for longer.
Yeah, I would have even been happy if they would have swapped around Woody Harrelson's and Tandy Newton's role, and Woody Harrelson died preemptively.
Yeah, that could have worked.
Thought that would have been kind of cool. Jon Favreau as the sort of monkey man.
He was a really good character. I was a bit annoyed when he died, actually.
He was funnier than I expected him to be. Yeah. He could have been in it a little bit longer. And then Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Lando's like assistant robot.
Yeah, L3.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, she's great.
I'm a massive fan of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Anyway, I watched Fleabag.
I haven't seen Fleabag yet.
Fleabag is superb. It's one of the best sort of British comedies in years.
I'll have to check that out.
And she just wrote a program called Killing Eve, which I'm hearing really good things about. But it's only in America at the moment, so I've not had a chance to watch it. But her whole arc of being like a liberating robots kind of robot rights activist is so good. But I felt like the bit where they upload her to the Millennium Falcon near the end of the film was a bit of an odd one, because I get that it's how the Millennium Falcon has character in the comics. Yeah. But I don't know, there was just something about it that just was a bit weird to me, and I didn't really think it was all that necessary to do it.
I think, in a way, I understand what you mean, but I think it was a nice little touch, because if you notice in the original trilogy, when C-3PO was trying to talk to the Millennium Falcon, he's like, she's talking in a dialect that I just don't understand. She's very erratic. But, like, that was just a nice little touch, I think, at the end of the film, like, oh, that's why. Like, it just makes it, it's like the little link, plus, just things that link into the old trilogy, and you think, like, oh, that gives new meaning to something in a way. Yeah.
The set pieces were decent. I feel like the one with the giant space monster looked cool.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit vapid, I thought. There wasn't too much to it.
No. But, I mean, it just looks amazing, like, as well, like, when they...
I definitely like the bit where they're trying to burst out.
Yeah.
And the Millennium Falcon falls so close into the black hole, and you're on the edge of your seat, like, oh my god, like...
Well, in a sense, I mean, you're probably going to survive. But it's like... Because he does the Kessel... You know he does the Kessel run.
Exactly.
But, it surprised me. I was like, all right. Oh, yeah, right, okay, we're back on now.
I felt like the whole subplot with the sort of Ravager people that ends up being a young girl.
Emphas
Ness. Cool name.
Yeah.
Really badass name. But I don't know. I felt like that was just a bit of nothing.
It was kind of just we know we need the rebellion somewhere.
Yeah,
it's the start of the rebellion. So
yeah,
it's not really the start of the rebellion, but it's there in a way.
I felt like the whole film just kind of left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth because Han Solo is a character almost like the Joker, where the background of the character doesn't matter that much.
It's just how he is.
Yeah,
it's how he is.
And revealing bits that weren't really necessary kind of took away from the mystery that makes the character so great.
Yeah, I can agree.
So that's kind of my problem with it. And then I guess my other problem is I don't know what Disney were thinking bringing out 2 Star Wars films in less than 6 months.
Well, that's money grabbing for you.
But they've not grabbed any money. They've done really badly.
I know, but in a way, it's because the subject that they picked to do was their downfall, really, because no one wanted it. If they made another film in the vein of, say, like Rogue One, where you have to, it's kind of like it's about that, but it's pulled away from the story a little bit, and it doesn't rely on other films, and it doesn't rely on being in the middle of something, then they probably would have done better.
And full disclosure, I absolutely loved Rogue One.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it so much more than I expected to. I ended up watching it on Blu-ray. I didn't go to the cinema because, like I said, I wasn't that into the Star Wars films. I saw Force Awakens in the cinema because that was a spectacle. That was a big deal, so I thought I'll make the effort for that. But with Rogue One, I wasn't that into the canon of it, so I was like, I'll give it a miss. And a friend of mine just said, look, watch it, it's great. It's almost like an Ocean's 11 heist.
Yeah, it isn't really a Star Wars film.
And it's small scale, and the stakes are very real. So I definitely enjoyed it.
I think it's the better film. It's better than Solo. It's just that I got into Solo thinking it was going to be rubbish, and then it went past all my expectations. But plus, I think the spirit of it is there. Yeah, and it made me feel like I was watching a Star Wars film as a kid again.
It did feel like a Star Wars film. I will give you that. And to be honest, like,
it's because I'm so much into more into Star Wars.
I'm giving it a bit of a bad rap, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I understand what people's problems are. It's okay. Like, I understand. I can see if other people aren't really into Star Wars, or
you can see the flaws.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's just because I'm so into it.
Yeah, it was like
it's given to me every year, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
I'll take more of that.
I'll have that. But yeah, I understand the gripes about it. But yeah, back on track.
Back on track. That was the Solo.
That was a review for Solo for you if you
if you're into that kind of thing.
If you wanted it.
Is there going to be a Solo 2?
I think so. He signed up for 3 films, I think.
Has he?
Yeah.
What are they going to call it? How are they going to?
I don't know, but it'll be about Darth Maul and that sort of thing.
Josh, spoilers.
Oh, Darth Maul's in it. He makes a return. No one knows how he was resurrected, only if you watch the Clone Wars, but it just doesn't make sense.
Isn't he like a robot Spider-Man?
Yeah, it apparently survives episode 1 and then becomes like a spider hybrid with many legs, and then he gets metal legs, and then gets killed on Tatooine by Obi-Wan in a big duel. Very, very sad character, apparently. But I've never seen. I don't like animation for Star Wars.
For Star Wars, yeah, I've never watched the Clone Wars. I've heard good things about it, but I'm not into the whole extended universe thing, so I don't.
That's why canon is a problem, because they say, "Oh, it's canon. Oh, it can go in the films. Then that's all right." And it's like, well, people don't know. But anyway,
Warwick Davis, cheeky little cameo.
I love Warwick Davis.
It's a cheeky little cameo in there, wasn't he?
He's in most of the Star Wars, so why not?
Apparently, Anthony Daniels had a little cameo as well.
He is. I think he's at the party on Dryden Voss's.
Again, what a cool Star Wars name as well. Dryden Voss is such a cool Star Wars name.
Yeah.
I loved his look. I loved his like half little cape thing he had. Right. Oh, brilliant.
But as well, like when he got angrier, the lines on his face became more prominent, and then his eyes went red.
Yeah.
But only when he was like angry, it was incredible.
I liked it, and I liked that it was away from the whole Jedi thing.
Although the shoehorned Darth Maul's lightsaber in. I don't know why.
That was just so it was like, oh, it actually is Darth Maul. But it wasn't Peter Serafinowicz, was it?
No, it's Sam Witwer who plays him in the Clone Wars. That's the thing though. They're trying to shoehorn the Clone War.
I like Peter Serafinowicz.
I do, and his voice in number 1 is really creepy.
Brilliant.
He did a really good job at that, but I'm surprised they didn't ask him back because
I felt he might have asked.
Maybe it was just easier to get Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer's just a voice actor anyway, so I think it's because Peter Serafinowicz didn't really like.
He's off doing the Tick now, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he liked the first film how he was treated.
Well, because wasn't he meant to be both voice actor and actor in it?
But then obviously he was just invited to a room and they didn't really treat him very well.
Yeah,
they just like do that and get out.
So I guess that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Next one's Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's been announced. I think
James Mangold.
Yeah. Oh no. James Mangold's director.
I love James Mangold.
That'll be really good. That.
Yeah. If it is a space western,
but it's another one of them. It's like
interesting.
Do we need it?
Well, like the thing is, Boba Fett is one of those so overhyped characters in the Star Wars like mythos because he's only got like 2 lines or something in the film.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
But the thing is about him is, I think the reason everyone loves him is because he's so cool.
He looks amazing.
But the thing about him is that he's not in it that much. That's why he's so cool.
Yeah,
like he's just while he's there though, he steals
a whole
scenes.
film could be too much. I think.
Yeah, but it'd be quite interesting because they Boba Fett on Boba Fett Bounty Hunter on PS2. That was a really good game.
Oh,
that like
blast from the past.
Oh, actually, was it Jango Fett? Yeah, it was Star Wars Bounty Hunter. It was based on Jango Fett, which is his dad. But a Boba Fett film could be nice because they have a couple of games that were going to come out about the underworld of Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's nice to see the underworld of Star Wars because it's a big thing.
Yeah, and I like the seediness, but I will say that I know we've just ended up talking about Solo.
Yeah, we're just talking about Star Wars now. This is a Star Wars podcast.
This is a Star Wars podcast now.
Not Jurassic Park.
I didn't think it was as seedy as the original trilogy. I felt like Mos Cantina was more seedy and more grimy and grubby than this film was, and I felt like it could have done with a bit more scuzz. It could have done with a bit scruffy.
I think it's places. I think in the next one, I think they should go like full on straight into the underworld because I think it's his introduction. It's Han's introduction to. Because
I also assume that the next one is about Jabba the Hutt, right? Because that's where they're heading to.
Yeah, because obviously they've got to get to the point where he loses the cargo before New Hope, and he's obviously got a bounty on his head and stuff like that. So
it's interesting. Are there rumours of an Obi-Wan film?
Yeah, I think that would be really good, actually. I think it would be good because Ewan McGregor would be back on like you.
Yeah, I hope he'll be back for it because it's kind of pointless otherwise. No. But what I kind of want from Star Wars now is a new thing. I want them to move away from all of this original trilogy stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm kind of looking forward to Rian Johnson just taking the helm and doing a new trilogy.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind a few little winks to the Star Wars universe.
Well, it's in the thing is, you're always going to have to wink to it because it's a universe at the end of the day.
But I want new characters. I don't want any more Skywalkers. I don't want any of that stuff.
That's what I mean. You don't have to worry about it because the number 9 is the last one for the Skywalker trilogy, which it'd be a good thing for Star Wars because there's a lot more outside of Star Wars than that story is able to you're able to delve into it a bit more. So it's really exciting actually.
Well, that was Star Wars talk. Yes. See you next time.
Let's put Star Wars away because people are probably bored right now with Star Wars.
What film are we covering this week, Josh?
We're doing Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Now that's interesting.
Why?
Because this is our first film really that's not a straight remake.
No, it's a reboot.
It's a reboot of a franchise and a sequel. So it's a little bit different. We have tried to play around with remakes and reboots and make sure that we've got a good variation between the two. Yeah,
we don't want to be too direct with remakes.
Yeah.
Because we are called the Rebooters.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem with remakes is a lot of the time they are just literally carbon copies of the previous film. So it makes it difficult to talk about them. But this is a sequel to a film that came out in 1993. And what?
We weren't even born then.
I was born. I was born in 1993.
Yeah, well, when it came out, I mean, like it was.
Yeah, I would have been 0.
Yeah, 0. Yeah. I was born the next year, the following year.
So, should we kick things off with Jurassic Park or with Jurassic World, Josh?
Definitely the original first.
Go with the original first.
Always got to go with the original first.
Okay, let's go with the original first. So, the original film, 1993, as we just said, it's my boy Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's based on a book by Michael Crichton. Mm-hmm. And it was actually picked up before Michael Crichton had even finished writing the book. That's how much they knew that they had a good idea on their hands. Jeez. They were like, "Yep, we want that."
I did not know that.
I think he got about $2 million for this book before he'd even finished writing it. Steven Spielberg was originally going to do another adaptation of a Michael Crichton book, which was ER, which got turned into the TV show.
Oh, okay.
ER,
right, I see.
Which Steven Spielberg helped to fund. It was part of his whole thing.
Yeah, he does a lot of funding with people like Tom Hanks and things like that for HBO dramas. And
exactly. So the film stars Sam Neill.
Yep.
That in the part of Dr. Grant.
Yep.
Which was originally offered to Harrison Ford.
Oh, really?
Going back to the Han Solo.
Have you just been reading the IMDb trivia page?
Hey, I have been... I've been well researched this time, Josh, because the last episode was probably our best episode, of course, but...
Let's not talk.
Let's not dwell on it.
You know... Let's not even mention it.
For those who don't know, me and Josh are film critic extraordinaires. Incredibly famous film critics.
Yeah.
Know everything about films. Infallible.
Mark Camo's got nothing on me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So the film is about a park.
Yeah.
With dinosaurs.
Yeah. Thing is about this one, though, is I don't think we really need to... I mean, even with Ghostbusters, I don't think we need to... Do we need to explain the whole plot?
We can go over a few beats. I don't think we need to go as in
Most
depth.
people must have seen this.
Yeah,
surely.
Well, what's your relationship to Jurassic Park then? When did you first watch it? How do you enjoy the Jurassic Park films? How do you feel about them?
I first seen it when I was about 8 or 10, something like that. So I think my parents obviously just had it on the TV one day. It's one of those films that, I mean, like, you know, it's as big, but then it gets as big on telly.
Yeah.
It's replayed on channels and things like that, so...
Were you a dinosaur boy?
I was not a dinosaur... No, not really. I mean, like, once I seen that, I think I probably was. Like, it gave me a lot more interest in science and things like that. So, obviously, when that sort of subject came up,
Yeah.
I'd be a lot more interested, because, obviously, when you're a kid and you watch Jurassic Park, it's like, you know, wow.
Yeah.
But even from that age, I mean, that would have been, like, what, early 2000s or something.
That you would have watched it, yeah?
Yeah, so like, it still holds up. It's not like a bad film.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I was a dinosaur boy. I loved dinosaurs. I loved reading books about dinosaurs. Yeah. I loved having little dinosaurs. Even in this room that we are recording this podcast in, I've got a dinosaur on my shelf. There is
a T-Rex there, yeah.
So I just love them. And I've got a kind of weird relationship with Jurassic Park, because the first film that I saw was Jurassic Park 3 at the cinema.
Do you want to repeat that?
The first Jurassic Park film I saw was Jurassic Park 3 at the cinema. I saw it with my granddad and my mum, I think, because I love dinosaurs so much, and that was the first film that I could have gone to see about dinosaurs.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, so I watched that one first, had absolutely no idea what was going on, really, apart from, oh my god, there's dinosaurs. I always remember there's like bits with pterodactyls in that film.
Yeah.
And that really sticks with me, that like the scenes with the pterodactyls.
Yeah.
So after that, I'd watched Jurassic Park. I must have watched it on tape. On tape.
Yeah, video or... I think mine was on telly, but you could have been right. It would have been on video or something like that.
But I love Jurassic Park films. I used to have the Jurassic Park toys. I remember... Got this really distinct memory, actually, of cereal boxes. Had these little... They looked like holograms of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. No, I do remember these? That. Yeah.
They looked like an egg, and then in the middle they'd have like a little hologram.
Yeah. I think that was about the time of Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would have been like 2003 or something.
Yeah. So I adored everything about dinosaurs, and the first time I saw Jurassic Park, I was just blown away.
Yeah, as every kid is.
Oh, it's so good, and I just want to gush about Jurassic Park because it's just brilliant.
This is the perfect place to go.
Yeah, exactly. I watched it today ahead of this podcast because I do my homework on my Josh.
I don't need to. I know it already.
And I watched it I've got it on DVD, so I was watching it on DVD this morning, and just from the very first scenes, I was like, yeah, this is taking me back to a good place, a place that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And the other reason I've got quite a fond relationship with Jurassic Park is I love going to theme parks, and I went to Universal Studios when I was quite young.
Well. Yeah.
And the Jurassic Park area and the Jurassic Park ride there are unbelievable.
Yeah, they are. The attention to detail they've got in there is incredible. I didn't actually get a chance to go in the visitor centre while I was there because it was shut.
I went into the visitor centre. So the visitor centre is almost exactly like the visitor centre in Jurassic Park, which we'll get onto in a moment. But one of the cool things is a scientist will take you around and he will show you the bit where the little velociraptors hatch from the eggs. And you can name the dinosaur as they hatch, and you get like a little card or something printed out with the name of the dinosaur. All very cool. Like,
it's a shame that I couldn't go in there.
It was brilliant. But anyway, let's get on to the film.
Finally,
that's enough gushing. The film kicks off, and I'd forgotten it kicked off in this way, but it kicks off with them fielding the velociraptor into like a cage.
Yeah, into its enclosure.
Yeah. And that's such a great scene because right from the bat, you know, these dinosaurs are scary.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that particular dinosaur, it basically just sets him up to say,
exactly. Yeah, and you just see little glimpses of it. There's no like big reveal, and you don't get a big reveal for quite a big chunk of the film.
You know, that's your boy Stevie for you.
That's my boy Stevie.
You know, jaws
back
it up.
at it again.
Yeah, jaws it up.
So straight away you're like, oh my god, this velociraptor's just killed someone. This is scary stuff.
Yeah,
it's dark, it's gritty, and then you move on to our hero and heroine, Dr. Grant and what's her name? Ellie. Yeah. And they are archaeologists.
Laura Dern.
Yeah, in a brilliant part.
Yeah,
that was one of the biggest things. It was something I probably wouldn't have paid attention to when I was younger, but rewatching this film, she plays such a really good part in it.
Yeah, she's really good as well. Yeah, she's a really good actress.
She's funny, she's natural. Her chemistry with Sam Neill, who plays Dr. Grant,
believable.
And for the first bit, because they kind of talk over each other while they're doing the dig, and they're having a joke and a laugh, and it's all very playful, and it just seemed so real. It was like you were watching part of a documentary.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about Jurassic Park, the way it opens. I mean, you've got the scene with the velociraptor getting put in the pen.
Yeah.
And then you hit the bit where they're grabbing the amber in South America. And then you've got, obviously, you know, Sam Neill and Laura Dern, they're opening.
Yeah.
But all them scenes, they seem so natural and real. Like they're in the real locations. Well, obviously maybe not the part, you know, not the velociraptor bit at the start. Yeah. But the way they're filmed and the way the characters, you know, talk over each other, and you got like little bits, and it just all adds up into sort of realism. Yeah, it's like a realism sort of thing. It's like boom, 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 real locations. Everyone's just like naturally, you know, you got great actors playing the roles. Yeah, it gets you sucked in instantly.
Yeah, exactly. It's so engaging, and then you've got Richard Attenborough.
Oh, good old Dickie.
Such a great part as Hammond, who's sort of the owner and proprietor of Jurassic Park, and he's such like a Walt Disney character. Yeah,
he always sees the sort of the brighter side of things.
Yeah, he's so joyful, and he's so excited about opening a Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't really see the problems of anything. He just sees the end goal.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He'll just get through it.
So he rounds up these two archaeologists. They put them on a helicopter. You're introduced to most fans' favourite character, Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. Don't know what your thoughts are of Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum is he's a character actor. So if you want someone zany and eccentric, then you get him to play him.
Yeah.
And he plays Ian Malcolm.
Yeah, Ian Malcolm.
And
he's like a rock star mathematician.
Yep.
He's such a cool character. He flirts with Ellie.
Yeah.
And even when you're on the helicopter just flying over the water, your anticipation as well as the characters are so palpable, particularly because in the background you've got that score.
Yeah.
That unbelievable score.
John Williams hits it out of the park again.
Oh, absolutely nails the feeling, and as the music swells, the camera pans over to the island, and you're like, "Oh my god, I want to go there." This looks unbelievable.
I think also it's that thing again of it's Steven Spielberg saying, you know, we're building up to something, but I'm not going to tell you yet, because even in the start of the film when they say, "What's the park?"
Yeah,
I mean, even when you go into a film, you know, you've seen trailers and stuff, but like obviously, when you don't know anything about a film, you think, you look at it and you think, oh, well, they're not really revealing it yet. Mm-hmm. There's that sort of build up, and then there's the reveal, and it just works.
It really, really does. And then there's that really interesting bit which you probably know about, Josh, but I'll just repeat it for people who don't. Dr. Grant tries to fasten his seatbelt.
Yeah.
And he can't fasten his seatbelt because he's got two female prongs.
Yes, yeah.
So it won't fasten, so he has to tie it up. So he has to find a way to make two female things work together.
Yeah, he just ties them in a knot and then pulls
ties them in a knot. And the foreshadowing of that went way over my head when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But watching it again, I was like, this is the smartest film in the world. This is so good.
Yeah, it's so subtle, but it works.
And as they land, you see that branding, and that branding is so iconic to this day. Like the Jurassic Park logo, the look, the colours of everything. It feels like a real park.
It's interesting how they did it, because obviously all the merchandise that they made for the film actually is included in the film.
Yeah.
Because it's a park at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have merchandise, but it's a smart way to do it, because obviously when you see the film, you're like, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that as well. So all the kids are like, I want this.
Yeah.
But it's available. Go and get it.
And then the next scene is just one of those iconic scenes that you could replay at any point and you would be like, this is genius filmmaking. Yeah. This is the scene where they're in a Jeep, the Jeep pulls over, Dr. Grant takes off his hat, stands up on his seat, pulls off his glasses, reaches over to Ellie, twists her head round, the camera pans over, and you see the dinosaurs in their natural habitat. They look unbelievable. I feel like we should have a bit of a dinosaur moment now, because the dinosaurs in this film look great.
That's the big thing. We'll get onto it, but that's the main part of this. Is going to be the difference between Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, because
that's the biggest thing.
It's all about the technology. Because there's such a sparse, there's such a massive difference between the two films, but they look incredible. Even now, when you watch it again, I mean, you can tell that it was made a long time ago, but still,
not that long ago though.
I mean, I mean, like now, I mean, you think the way the technology is advanced, a very long time ago, but like it still holds up. But it's because of the techniques that they did.
Exactly, and the puppetry, and obviously you've got I think everyone's seen that meme on the internet of dinosaur supervisor Phil Tippett.
Phil Tippett.
But Phil Tippett is a genius in and of himself. Like he did, he made the suit for RoboCop, iconic suit. He did the stuff in Starship Troopers. He did creature design on Star Wars. Yep. He's such a talented guy, and I know it's kind of a jokey, memey thing, but the work that he put in on this film is so good, and he's made the dinosaurs look so authentic, and so much so that it influenced science itself. Like people still think that T-Rexes look like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park,
which they don't, obviously.
Yeah, because there are like feathers and stuff on real dinosaurs, but you just can't help but picture that dinosaur.
But the good thing about Phil Tippett is that the fact that they put that on the credits, you actually believe it in a way.
Yeah,
because like they might as well be real.
100%.
They look 100% real.
Yeah. So you've got these big brontosauruses reaching up and grasping the trees, and the trees move in response to it, and it just looks so authentic, and you're there with Grant and Ellie. You're like, wow, this is unbelievable. How have they done this? So that scene is just blazed into my mind. Yeah, it's great stuff. And then you've got a couple of scenes later after this. You've got the argument between Ian Malcolm and the rest of the scientists as they begin to talk about whether they should have done it. You've got that one line where it's your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should, which is a great line. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about Jurassic Park, particularly now, is the kind of moral nitty-gritty of the whole thing that they get into.
Yeah, it's like a kind of ethical sort of question. It's like, should we have done it just for what we're doing it for?
And Richard Attenborough plays the part really well, because he's brought along an insurance lawyer guy. Who's coming around with them, and he's like, I can't believe I agree with the insurance guy that we should be opening this park because we're going to get loads of money for it. And you scientists are all arguing about what the ethics of it is. So that's one thing that I really appreciated about this film, particularly over perhaps Jurassic World.
Well, I think the good thing about it is, I think the choice of characters within Jurassic Park is great, because they all bounce off each other. They're all the opposite of each other. You've got Ian Malcolm, who's the sort of radical, and then you've got I forgot his name completely.
Who?
Richard Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough, Hammond.
Hammond, yeah. So John Hammond, who's the sort of like, he's the optimist. Yeah. And he wants the sort of
the Walt Disney thing.
And then you've got like Ellie and Alan, who are like the good thing about them is they rely on the fact that they're dead. Yeah. So that's the dynamic of it. It's like everyone's trying to look out for their own interests, which is great, because then you get a good dialogue from that. Yeah, and which is why it works.
That's one of the things that struck me while I was watching the film, actually, is the characterization is so strong that even just by look, you can go, I know who that is. I know what they're doing. I know that Jeff Goldblum's this rock star, cool guy. I know that Dr. Grant is this scientist who's got wonder in his heart. And then you've also got, which we've not mentioned so far, you've got the kind of villain of the film who is a scientist who's just moving on to a new job, and he's trying to steal some of the DNA to bring with him. Dennis Nedry, played by Wayne Knight in an absolutely brilliant performance. Yeah, I was surprised by that performance, actually, because to look at him, you wouldn't think he'd have the acting chops to do a role like that, but he plays it so well. He's like snivelling and grimy and
Yeah, he's just a sort of like
dislikable.
He's like a survivor, sort of like he'll just he's trying to look out for himself and he'll do anything.
He's number one,
yeah.
And so he's in the background. You've got Samuel L. Jackson. What performance that is! Every time I'm surprised by it. Every time I know Samuel L. Jackson's in it, and every time I'm like, oh my god, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
It's because he's so different. I think that's the only role I've seen him in where he doesn't play Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
because you just think like, who is this? Like,
is
this the same person?
It's funny you say that because I was watching The Incredibles last night.
Yeah.
And that's Samuel L. Jackson playing Samuel L. Jackson in animated form. Yeah. It's brilliant.
Have you seen him in anything like Snakes on a Plane?
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson.
But there has to be so few people whose characters in films can be modelled so much on the actor.
Yeah.
Like Nick Fury, for example, was modelled on Samuel L. Jackson as a person because he's such an iconic guy. So seeing him playing this like nerdy scientist is so out of place, but he does play it quite well, actually.
He does play it well.
I love the way he says "hold your butts" about 3 times in the butts. It's great. So the scientists have a bit of an argument about whether or not they should, blah blah blah. You get introduced to the kids.
Yep. Tim and Lexi.
I think it's Tim and Lexi.
Tim and
Lexi. I had the names down somewhere, but I've lost it now. I know
it's Tim and Lex. I was wondering about the girl's name, but I remembered it.
Who are Richard Attenborough's or Hammond's grandchildren. And one of the things I liked about it, not annoying kids.
No,
not annoying kids at all. They fend for themselves. They've got really cool action sequences. Mm-hmm. They're just good little actors. That was another thing. I think that's the thing
when you work with kids. Well, when you have kid roles in films, if the kids are kind of if the actors are annoying, you can never get past it.
Yeah.
Jurassic World. So, Ty Simpkins. We'll get onto him. But yeah, they're not annoying in the slightest, and their characters are really good because they have traits that obviously in the end build up to help them, which is good because obviously you don't know that about you. It's like a surprise reveal almost. Mm-hmm. It's like you think, kids are not going to be able to look after themselves, and they actually do, which is a good point, actually. Yeah,
and this point of the film now is kind of where things get kick-started.
They've all been brought to sort of sign off on the park, haven't they?
They're testing out the Jurassic Park. They're seeing if everything works, if it's dangerous, all that kind of stuff, and they're ferried into these jeeps that go on electric tracks.
Yeah, so they're not like gas powered.
Yeah, so they can only go one way really around the park, and this is where things start to go a bit wrong.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit wrong. So as they're going around, the voiceover is telling them, and I just want to give a quick mention actually to the little DNA guy.
Mr. DNA. I forgot completely about him.
He's great.
He is great.
What a great little bit that is.
I can't remember who voices him.
I can't remember who voices him.
I think it's someone quite famous.
But it's such a cool little detail because it all builds up to making the park seem real.
Yeah, it sells the idea of it sells the believability of a park in a way. Exactly. Like they were smart in doing that because if they're going to do a park, you have to do a park. Do you know what I mean? You don't just half-heartedly do it.
These kids look up to Dr. Grant. They've read his books. They're into dinosaurs.
He's kind of a well-known.
He's well established in it. They have little arguments about how the dinosaurs died. Mm-hmm. Dr. Grant thinks they evolved into birds. The kid thinks that it was a meteor that killed them. There's nice little bits like that where he starts to build the relationship. And they're in these jeeps. They're going around the park. There's no dinosaurs.
No.
There's no dinosaurs.
No. It's because the reason is because the storm's coming. They're all like they kind of preempt it. They know the storm's on the way.
The storm's on the way. You've got Nedry who's decided to run a computer program to mess around with the security of the park.
Yeah, because his character he actually worked another company who have been watching him. Yeah, they've been watching what Hammond is doing, and they've heard rumblings of it. And Dennis is sort of working with them, so they basically want all the embryos off the island, so they can start their own park and then beat him to it. Because obviously they know about the problems in the park, so through Nedry. So he basically just says, "You fix these, you've got a park running." Yeah. So they pay him loads of money, and he tries to sneak the embryos out.
But in doing so, he opens up all the gates. Really, he opens up the floodgates.
He stops all the security from being around the park, which prevents all the gates from being electrified and stuff.
Yep.
But dinosaurs are a little bit too smart for that because they know the fences down.
Yeah. So the car starts to slow down while they are at the T-Rex exhibit.
Yeah.
That's when the power goes, and the power has been running electric fences, and it's been established that these dinosaurs are super smart. So they've been testing the electric fences to see if there's any weaknesses in them.
Yeah, that's another key scene. It's kind of a foreshadowing thing.
Yeah.
Because they talk about the velociraptors when they're fed. Mm-hmm. They attack certain parts of the fence to see which bits are electrified, and then they attack it again in a sequential sort of way. Yeah. It's just a really smart little touch, and you think, something's coming.
Something's coming.
We don't know when, but it is coming.
And this is the part really where you've got probably the most influential and iconic scene of the whole.
Yeah, well, I think this is the point of getting into talking about the technology behind it, because this is the scene that you see. I mean, you see the brontosaurus at the start, but that's when you see the T-Rex. That's the point where you go, wow, wow.
But even before that, you've got the glass shaking.
Yeah,
you've got the water moving in the glass on the dashboard.
Yeah,
and you're like, something's coming here. Something big is coming here.
It's the Jaws reveal again. It's like
exactly.
It's almost like the equivalent. It's the visual equivalent of the dun.
Yeah.
Dun. It's that sort of thing. It's like the build up. It's just great suspense.
Yeah.
But it works completely. But you know they did that at glass on the.
Go on, tell me, Josh.
Do you know that?
I
feel like you do.
I do know because I'm a massive nerd about all this kind of stuff. But tell me.
There's they ran a guitar string through the Jeep.
Yeah.
So obviously, like Steven Spielberg was one day just trying to find out how they could do it, but then obviously someone's playing guitar nearby and it shook the glass.
Yeah.
So then they ran it through the car, plucked the strings, and hey presto, there you go.
And what a scene that has been sort of parodied and replayed so many times that it's just one of those scenes that
I think there's a little nod to it in The Last Jedi.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's a scene where like loads of animals are running past and it's like. It's kind of rumbling before they get there, which is a little bit of a nod, I think.
Interesting. But then, the reveal, the T-Rex bursts through. Mm-hmm. Big thing. It's
huge thing.
It's a massive dinosaur. Yeah. It's a scary dinosaur. And that's one of the things that I loved about this film. It's genuinely scary.
Yeah.
It is a scary, scary film.
It's a culmination of things, though. It's like, it's not just the T-Rex. It's the lighting.
Yeah.
It's the
rain.
The effect. The rain.
I love the rain. Yeah. The rain's great.
But it all culminates in a thing of like, it all brings together a sort of like watching you. Oh god, this is unsettling almost. Because
the weird thing about the rain is it's almost a character in and of itself, because it's an environment that's affecting so many things and is referred to again and again and again as this film goes on, because it's making such an impact on what's going on around everyone. So the insurance lawyer guy runs away, leaves the two kids in the Jeep. He runs into a toilet. There's a bit of good comedy there. A bit.
It's great comedy.
And the T-Rex is sniffing around these Jeeps. Dr. Grant has that cool line where the vision's based on movement. If you don't move, you'll be okay. I think Laura Dern at this point has left, or she wasn't in the Jeeps.
She when they're on the path of the Jeeps, they stop by a triceratops that's been poisoned.
Totally forgot about that bit. Yeah.
So Laura Dern jumps out to help them because she's a paleobotanist.
Yeah.
So she works with like when poisoned animals get poisoned, things like that. So she stays behind and has a look at that. So she's sort of missing from the scene.
Yeah. They look for a big pile of poo.
They do. They look for a huge pile of poo, dinosaur poo.
And am I misremembering this? Was the implication that one of the dinosaurs was pregnant? Have I made that up, or is that a different film?
No, I think that's a different film.
Interesting.
I think the second one is about the T-Rexes have like a little kid.
Right.
But the point of it is that obviously they've built this park, but they haven't taken into account the animals at all. They've not thought about them because there's basically her idea is that there's plants within the park that poison the animals.
Yeah.
And they haven't thought about that. They pick them because they're pretty, which is like. It just references back to the sort of the carelessness of like humans about like not respecting what they've done. It's that thing again. It's like, should we have done it?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, and I know we've skipped about a little bit here, but Ian Malcolm's got a few good lines about chaos and chaos theory and how flap of a butterfly wing can make hurricanes and all that kind of nonsense. But
it's such a great idea for a story because it gets so deep into the sort of ethical stuff.
Yeah,
but it's kind of this sort of like, oh, it's an action film, but we're actually making a point.
Yeah, 100%. So these kids are in a Jeep. They're flinging a light about for no apparent reason. I don't know what they're trying to do.
The kids are scared. So
but what scared kid goes, you know what, I'm going to go and get this big torch and shine it at a dinosaur.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Dr. Grant is like trying to shout at them, telling them not to do it. There's the really, really cool scene where the T-Rex head moves right next to the car and they shine the light on it and the eyes like dilate.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many good bits like that. Oh, I love it.
Gosh.
Yeah. Because the puppets are amazing as well.
Yeah, well, this is what we need to get onto because the animatronic work on that film is just immaculate. Like,
yeah.
When there's a scene in that film between CGI and puppets, you have an idea because you can tell now, but the disparity between the scenes is non-existent.
It's seamless.
You watch one scene, I'm still in the film, but it changes from animatronic to CGI to animatronic. So you don't tell because you're so sucked into the story. It just doesn't matter. But I think that the absolute gold star of that film was the way they did the CGI, because obviously in today's world you would do CGI possibly off mocap suits with people, which they did in the new Jurassic Park, the new Jurassic World film, where they had mocap people doing the movements. But back in the day, they devised a way on a computer to scan in the puppets into the computer, but then they made the movements with the puppets, and then scanned and then just put a CGI sort of like, skeleton over it, which is, it's kind of merging the two departments together instead of just having CGI on its own and the sort of puppetry work. It just added to the realism. And I don't know why, for the life of me, why I haven't done it in other films.
Yeah, I guess it was just so expensive. But
I mean, it's just, you get more realism out of it. I mean, it can't be as expensive as putting millions of pounds into a computer.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's just the method behind it makes it more believable because it's by hand and it looks a bit more realistic, like the way they do it. But it's just it's unreal. Like the workflow that they did for that film was just really good.
The T-Rex breaks through the top of the Jeep.
That's another great scene.
It's such a cool scene. They're holding the glass up and it's trying to like bite down on these two kids.
But again, that's the animatronic work again.
Yeah,
it just makes
so good.
Obviously, in the close-up scenes, if you get an animatronic dinosaur, it's just unreal.
And in the background, you've got scenes with Nedry trying to escape with these embryos. And this is another one of my favourite bits of the scene. That dinosaur,
the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. So he's crashed his Jeep. The water is pouring down.
Yeah, this is the bit where he's trying to get to the boat to get off the island.
Yeah, he's trying to get off the island. And there's this like little dinosaur that just moves around like it's a little kind of puppy. Makes like nice little noises and stuff. And then out of nowhere, these frills like burst out of it, and it starts spitting like this gunk at him. Yeah, and he's running away from it.
That's just like an instant boom. Not messing now. That's it. Get what I've just done. I'm game now.
And he tries to run into the Jeep and it chases after. Well, there's a really cool bit because he thinks he's about to get away and then he just turns his head and the dinosaur's like right in the Jeep with him. It's great. So that's him done. So his arc is pretty much non-existent now. He's dead.
Well, yeah, no.
He's out of it.
The thing is, he's one of the best characters because you're almost like rooting for him.
Yeah, in a weird roundabout way. You're like,
you know what he's doing is wrong, but in a way, they shouldn't really be making the park anyway. Yeah. And you think that if someone can do it, not so much if someone can do it better, but you're kind of almost thinking like you're a character of circumstance. Yeah. If you've got loads of money, you're probably all right. It's like,
the T-Rex, Dr. Grant has run out of the car. He's waving the flare around to try and distract the T-Rex. Yeah. The kids are under the car. The girl manages to get out, but Tim is still stuck under it. The T-Rex knocks the car off the bridge and it crashes onto a tree, and it's genuinely like the stakes in this film are so real because you're like, that kid's dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like one of those films where it kind of, because it's the first one. Yeah, you don't know what's going to go on. This is why the original's always probably better than a sequel. Because like if it hasn't got preceding or following films, then you kind of know what's gonna, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, anyone could die. Which a lot of people, a lot of people do die in the first film, really.
No,
like
none of the main
3
characters.
Deaths. 3 deaths, maybe.
And sorry, we just need to talk about this because we've totally skipped over it. But near the very beginning of the film, we're introduced to a scientist played by B.D. Wong.
Yes.
Which is important to mention because he is really the only character that runs through the whole franchise. Because
I don't think he's in the second or third one.
But he's in Jurassic World.
But he is in Jurassic World, so he does that.
Brings it back.
Yeah, he plays Henry Wu.
Yeah.
His name is.
Yeah, but sorry, that just pops into my head. I was like, we need to tie this into the next one. Yeah. But he is relatively important.
He's like the head of he's the head of like dinosaur development or something in the laboratory. So he sort of like deals with the patching of dinosaur things like.
So Dr. Grant is with the kids. The T-Rex has burst through the toilet and bit the insurance guy in a really good scene.
Shook him about.
Yeah, shook him about.
It's so violent that. For a PG, even today, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But
and then one of the things that I love about this film is it's so well paced. So Dr. Grant has saved these 2 kids. There's a really cool scene where the Jeep is falling down on them and they're scrambling down a tree, but they managed to do it. And the very next scene is them falling asleep on the tree as they're looking at these dinosaurs all around them. Yeah. And it's so peaceful and tranquil. And at the same time, you've got the story that Richard Attenborough is telling everyone about having a flea circus and just that chance to have a little bit of a breather after the action of the T-Rex and the Jeep.
Yeah, it's kind of like a roller coaster. It's like up and down and then up and down.
It just makes everything flow so much better throughout the film. So, next up, I think, is where they're trying to get everyone back, really.
Yeah, they're trying to make it. Well, Alan, Tim, and Lexi are sort of stuck.
Yeah.
In the tree after being chased by the T-Rex, and then you've got Ian, who's just been mauled. Well, not mauled, but like attacked by the T-Rex in the toilet blocks. He's sort of stuck there. Then you've got Ellie, who's with the Triceratops. Well, she's with Hammond back at the visitor centre.
Yeah.
So then they decide to Ellie decides to go and look for them. You've got Alan, Tim, and Lexi trying to get back to the visitor centre from the T-Rex.
Ellie is trying to kickstart the power again.
Not just yet.
Is that not yet?
Yeah. She goes out in a Jeep with the head of security.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name for the
No, he's a British actor. I was trying to think of who it was, but I can't remember who it is.
But they go out in a gas-powered Jeep to go and get the kids back.
Yeah.
So they go to the T-Rex enclosure and they find Ian Malcolm. And they put him on the Jeep and then bring him back.
Yeah. But then next up is where she's trying to do the electric.
Yeah, because she's trying to get the power back because there's no phones on.
Yeah.
So that is the bit where she's trying to get the electric. They try and reboot the system because Nedry's destroyed it, basically.
That's right. And so what happens here is the kids and Dr. Grant are trying to scale an electric fence, which is obviously turned off, while Laura Dern's character is trying to turn the electric back on.
Yeah.
So you've got some nice little tension there. Dr. Grant and Lexi are on the floor. Tim is like struggling to get down, and then the power comes back on.
Yeah.
He goes flying. Yeah. He like explodes off the fence.
Great wire work.
But what's really cool is the thread that Laura Dern has been doing while this has been going on is that they're being hunted.
Yeah, by velociraptors. And as she's like, yes, I've done it, she turns around and the velociraptor is like right there.
Yeah. And that is the one bit where I was like, oh my god, this is scary.
That is one of the best scenes in the whole film, where she backs up and she's so happy and you're so happy for her.
Yeah.
And then that thing just bursts through the pipes.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no. There's no respite here, you can't be happy. It's like...
She runs out of this electric facility thing. You've got the head of security who is about to shoot one of the velociraptors that are hunting them, and then he just turns his head and the other velociraptor like bursts over.
Yeah.
And that's why you get the clever girl line.
Clever girl. But that's he's actually hunting one of the other velociraptors that he thinks is the pack leader.
Yeah.
And then the pack leader's actually behind him.
Yeah.
Because it's again the foreshadowing and the sort of thread through the whole film where he's describing that one velociraptor that they had in the start of the film.
Yeah.
She killed all the rest of them and just kept a couple that she thought were good. But like it's so smart the way they weave it all the way through the film.
And we're now at the bit where the action just keeps on coming and keeps on coming.
Yeah, it doesn't let up from it.
So
this is the third act now, pretty much.
The reunited. Ellie and Dr. Grant are reunited. The kids are having a rest, having a nice little cheeky meal.
Ice cream
and jelly.
Great.
And Lexi has got the jelly to her mouth and it just starts shaking. She's so scared and the audience is like, what's going on? What's going to happen here? And then you see the shadow of a velociraptor just move behind them.
Yeah.
These kids jump up and then you've got probably one of the best little horror scenes in a film in years because they burst into the kitchen.
Yeah, they get stuck in the kitchen.
To try and hide from these velociraptors. You've got this scene where the velociraptor breathes on the glass and moves its head over the glass.
It's so iconic. I don't know how
brilliant.
I probably know how they do it, but it's so great.
It's great. It really, really is. And you've got just a really tense scene where these kids are trying to escape from the velociraptors.
Yeah.
One of my favourite bits is where Lexi is trying to pull down the shutter so that the velociraptor can't get it, and the velociraptor spots her and tries running at her and then runs into a mirror, like a mirrored shelf kind of thing. And you're just like, how are these kids going to get out of here? They managed to lock one in a freezer.
Yeah, Tim runs in the freezer. And then
Tim runs into the freezer. He locks it in there. They burst out into the sort of the main room of the Jurassic Park. You've got the big skeletons, which are cool. Am I right in thinking this is the bit where they're like hanging on to the skeletons as the velociraptors are chasing them?
Yeah. So they get stuck in the control room where they're trying to get the phones back up.
Yeah,
and they're trying to obviously they get the power back on.
That's right.
Sorry, yeah, she uses like a hacker skills. To get
the hacker skills.
The hacker skills.
Basically,
I can navigate to a directory that's a 3D. Like, I don't know what was going on in 1990 3, but like who has a directory that's a 3D image?
It's a Unix system.
It's a Unix system. It's like what is that? Like, and it's just a directory of files that you go through, and it's like, oh, it's all 3D, and you have to travel through it, and it's like a mini game. It's so bizarre. But yeah, they hack into the phone. Well, they hack back into the system, and they get the phones up and the security gates and stuff.
The velociraptors burst through the door. They go up into the vents. There's the really cool scene with the leg.
Now, that scene is incredible. It's one of my favourite scenes in the film because you don't realise that there's a big, massive piece of CGI used in that.
Oh, yeah.
Because the stunt double who fell through the roof, she falls through the roof and she's hanging on into the vents.
Yeah.
And the velociraptor gets kicked by her and he falls on the floor and then it jumps up to bite her leg. Yeah. But in the film, the stunt double accidentally looked up at the camera. So you know the bit where Lexi looks up? Yeah. And she's like, oh. Yeah. Basically, the stunt double's face was seen, so they were like, oh, how are we going to get around that? So they CGI'd her face into the person. Wow. Obviously, if you look at it directly, you can sort of tell.
I didn't notice it, though.
Honestly, it's the best piece of CGI in the world.
That's great.
It's like one of those things you think, oh my God, that you don't, even when you know, you can't tell. And it's like, it's just great.
Good fact, Josh.
Yeah, thanks. Because I thought, like, well, I can't remember how I found it. I think I read a bit of trivia about it, but then I looked at it again, I was like, that's unbelievable. Wow. For 93. Yeah. Even when they can't do, like, standard, normal CGI right now in some films, but yeah. They burst into the skeleton room. Yeah. They get on top of the skeletons in the main foyer, don't they? So.
Yeah, and the velociraptor also jumps onto the skeleton. Yeah. And everything's, like, falling down, and then you think there's absolutely no way they're going to get out of this. You're like, all of these kids are dead. Like, these velociraptors are going to rip them apart.
Everybody dies.
And then who saves the day?
Rex. Or Rexy, as they like to call it in Jurassic World.
The T-Rex bursts through, flings up one of the velociraptors. Yeah, and at
Ultimate
this point,
showdown.
If you were in America, this is where you'd be like clapping and
everyone's like, oh my God, that's amazing.
And they managed to escape in the midst of all this chaos. They managed to run out, get into a Jeep, and they're all safe. And one of the cool things about it is Steven Spielberg is like, but I know what you're here for. You want to see these dinosaurs fight each other. Yeah. So you just see that for like 5 minutes. You watch the T-Rex and the Velociraptors have a fight. And then you've got the T-Rex roaring, the banner like fluttering down in front of it, and
when dinosaurs ruled the earth.
it's just beautiful filmmaking.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just beautiful filmmaking. And then that's it. That is the end of the film. They're all in a helicopter, exhausted.
And they fly away.
They fly away in the helicopter in silence, and it's a really good contrast to the beginning of the film where they're all joking in the helicopter, and you've just got John Williams' little twinkly piano score in the background, and then the credits roll.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
What a film.
And then by that point, you're just like, no, right, that's it. I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah. I'm going to bed.
I'm tired.
And they never made a Jurassic Park film after that, did they, Josh? That was the single, that was the only Jurassic Park film.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know of any...
We don't need to talk about any other film, do we?
Nah, we'll stop it there. I mean, you don't want to ruin it, of course. Just for a bit of money. Right.
Do you want to tackle this one, Josh?
We'll get onto it, yeah. So, 2015, Jurassic World. Well, 2014, Jurassic World's announced.
Yep.
And, when it was announced, I had such high hopes for that film. I was thinking, yes, this is what we need. A fourth Jurassic Park film. It's actually going to be quite decent because they've actually, they've waited a long time and they're going to do it in the vein of what it would used to be.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't have a problem with the premise or anything. Like, even before it had been announced, like, you think they announced that before it had even been released as a sort of official film, they said that, oh yeah, it's about a park that's actually doing well. It is Jurassic World, blah blah.
Yeah.
And I thought that's incredible. Mm-hmm. And then you get into the film, and it's just shocking. We do this every time. It's like we talk about really
brilliant films.
Yeah, I think people are getting the gist of these now. Like, apart from Clash of the Titans, actually, but
no, Clash of the Titans
films we love.
Yeah.
Just films like this, oh man, they just ruin the whole thing. But the problem with this is because it's a sequel, it's even worse.
Yeah, it's like a sequel that attempts to reboot the Jurassic Park franchise for the younger generation.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is that it's a sequel, so you can't really. If you see a remake, you can just forget about it. Like,
yeah.
I know it'll always taint it, but like you can just forget about it. It's not part of your favourite franchise. It's just a remake. But this one's got a massive problem where it's the sequel to, like, it's the fourth one, basically.
And they do reference quite a lot of the stuff. They reference Hammond, B.D. Wong is there.
Yeah. They have a lot of winky moments.
Yeah.
That kind of don't work.
Honestly, I'm very organised this episode. I don't know if you've noticed. But I've wrote notes, and one of the very first notes that I wrote about Jurassic World...
was shit.
Well, no. The very first note I wrote was, is it a Christmas film?
No.
Because it's Christmas at the beginning of the film.
Don't even say it.
It's a Christmas film.
It doesn't redeem it.
It's a Christmas film.
You're right, it is
a Christmas film.
Yeah, it's based around...
But it didn't come out near Christmas.
No, it's just based at Christmas.
So, what was the point? Why did you need to...
Because the filmmakers know it's like, hey, it's a Christmas film, and everyone's like, oh, we can watch that at Christmas. It's really Christmassy. It's like, you have one scene... next Christmas.
But no, one of the first notes that I wrote about the film was that even the music tries to pull on the nostalgia strings so much. It just tries to keep on showing you, this is a Jurassic Park film. This is really a Jurassic Park film. It's nothing else. It's just a Jurassic Park film like everyone loves.
Yeah, I kind of don't have a problem with the music. I think there's some pieces of music in there that actually do sound alright on their own. But like obviously there's too much of the original theme. Like
it's overused.
For example, we'll just go back to Solo. Like in Solo, you have little streams of Star Wars in there. But they're used very like
nice. Yeah,
it's like a nice little way of it, but it has its own score, especially with like the operatic stuff.
Yeah, well, if we're going back to Solo, the score. It could be. Let's just go for another Solo tangent.
Yeah,
the score is brilliant.
Yeah,
I was listening to it the other day. It's an amazing
sort
score.
of like
brilliant.
It's almost like Skyrim in a way. Like in a sense.
It's got a bit of that thing to it. Who did the music for Jurassic World? Do you know?
It was. Oh, who was it? I really can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember who it is.
I'll find out for you. You keep talking, Josh.
I'll keep talking. Okay, so we'll start off with the plot line. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
So we open up.
Wait.
What?
Should we go over who did it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was Jay Boyega, but it's not because that's the new one.
Oh yeah, that's the new one. Colin Trevorrow.
Colin Trevorrow.
Now, what's your relationship with Colin Trevorrow, Josh?
Terrible. I can't stand the guy. I really can't.
So before Jurassic World, Colin Trevorrow had only done Safety Not Guaranteed.
Yeah, those Safety Not Guaranteed was his first film.
Yeah.
And that was the only film he'd ever done, and they basically booked him on the gig because of that.
Right.
Because obviously I've never seen it, but I've heard that it's very good.
I've heard it's okay.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I think that they booked him because of that. But in the same sense that Disney book people on one film, and they usually get it right, they did not get it right with this one.
Yeah.
Because he screwed up this film so bad. Honestly, I'm not surprised that he got fired from Star Wars 9. I really don't.
What's kind of strange about the whole Jurassic World thing is that this film made so much money.
Yeah.
This film made a ridiculous amount of money. It's one of the highest grossing films of all time, full stop. And Jurassic Park at its time was one of the sort of top 10 highest grossing films. It was a massive success. So it's no wonder that it spawned sequels and eventually this reboot. But I'm surprised that they didn't look at Colin Trevorrow and go, yeah, he could still do it, because he really did reinvigorate the Jurassic World franchise for a lot of people. So I get it in a way.
Yeah.
But then he made the Book of Henry.
Yeah, which I've heard is absolute trash.
He made the Book of Henry, and I think after that I was like, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's enough about Colin Trevorrow. We don't need to.
Have you found out who did the score?
It was actually Michael Giacchino, who I really like Michael Giacchino.
Did he do a Spider-Man? Did he do Spider-Man?
He may have done. He's quite famous for doing Disney films. So I think he did like Ratatouille. He did Inside Out. He did quite a few bits.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a sort of very decent guy, but I do think that it was overused a little bit, the Jurassic Park theme and the motifs of it. It's in
every section of the film. Like, there's not a section of that film where you don't hear the Jurassic Park theme tune. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
It's quite frustrating. I will say that one of the top notes that I've got on here is I got bored of writing notes after 9 minutes.
You got plenty of notes on there. God.
But he really does emulate the sort of Spielberginess quite well at the beginning of the film.
At the beginning of the film, yes, I agree with that. But then it's almost like he tries to emulate it and then fails, and then you're thinking, why did Spielberg not just direct this?
Yeah, I think because Spielberg also directed the Lost World, right? He directed the sequel.
He did direct the sequel as well.
But the sequel was a bit more of a flop than
it was. But I think that it was a very decent film. I think that it's not got the same, especially with Jurassic Park 3 as well. I mean, Jurassic Park 3 is not really highly rated, of a lot of people, but compared to Jurassic World, I honestly prefer it. And I never really had a problem with Jurassic Park 3 in the first place, but I know it's very bad, especially with the talking velociraptors in that dream sequence.
Yeah.
But compared to Jurassic World, it's not that bad. But yeah, you almost pine for Spielberg to direct it.
Yeah. But just while Josh is Googling something, I don't know what Josh is Googling, but he's Googling something.
I'm not Googling.
I'll go over just a few bits. So you're introduced to these kids who have got these parents who are going through a bit of a divorce.
That's what I was Googling. I was Googling the two lads, what their names were, because I actually don't care about them that much. I can't remember.
I had wrote down the names because I was like, I know I'm going to forget this. So they're called Zach and Gray.
Yeah, so you're introduced to Zach and Gray at the beginning of the film. Yeah. And their aunt, who is
Bryce Dallas Howard, called Claire. She works at Jurassic World. So basically their parents are going through a difficult time and they've got problems in the relationship, so they sort of ship off the kids to Jurassic World to see their aunt. Yeah. But it's also because they haven't seen her in a while. Yeah. So they sort of ship them off to her to look after her. So we'll get straight into it. This is where the film falls on its arse about 5 minutes, 10 minutes in, because you have scenes when they get to Jurassic World. Zach especially is an arsehole. Is that the younger one?
No, the older one.
The older one.
Gray's the younger one.
The younger one annoys me though.
Gray is so annoying. He's got the worst lines. He asks too many questions. Yeah, he doesn't get on what he's doing with.
He's like obsessed with weights and times and distances, and he just keeps on saying like, "Oh, it would take us 88 minutes to get to this place," or "This dinosaur weighs."
He's just a pedantic kid, and it's like I really don't want to see that in
It's
a film.
frustrating.
Like, there's a difference between, especially with if you relate him to Tim from the first one.
Yeah.
Tim's endearing because he's just a smart little kid, but
and he tries hard. Like,
he's just sort of like he's full of wonder.
and he goes through some rough stuff. That kid, crashes in a car, gets knocked off a bridge, like gets electrocuted, chased by velociraptors. He goes through stuff in that film.
Yeah.
So you're rooting for him the whole way because you're like, wow, I can't believe this kid's still going and he's not like broken down.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, there is the bit where he's like in the car and he's like, I've just thrown up.
Yeah, that's funny. Real ball, that actually. I won't tell anyone you threw up.
Yeah,
just get out of here quick, please.
But these kids are really frustrating.
Yeah, Gray is just a sort of like he's just a sort of very pushy kid. He sort of like always wants to talk. He's like doesn't really show up. He's not smart in an endearing way like Tim is. And Zach is just an absolute arsehole. He just, like, honestly, he doesn't care about his brother. He tries to hit on all these girls when he's got
kind
a
of
girlfriend.
weird that. I didn't like any of that stuff.
He's got a girlfriend back home, and he's like hits on all these girls.
But the thing is, you say hitting on, he doesn't. He just kind of stares at them and smiles in a creepy way.
That's what I mean.
I don't like it.
Tries to hit on. He doesn't actually. He just sort of stares them out like all the way through the thing.
Yeah.
But they're sort of. They arrive at the park and they're
and already the pacing's weird because it's like kids park, bam. It's like 2 minutes and
and the build of suspense, obviously, because you've seen a part before. This film just sort of goes, oh, we've done all that before. Why don't we just skip right to the park?
Yeah.
And the sort of opening where they're on the train and it's like shows the big banner and you see the old park and it's just like not excited.
No,
I'm not excited by it at all. Like it's like, oh, it looks cool, but like. Where's the sense of wonder like I've got from the first one? Like there's no, and they think that because it's all up and running and it's all cool and high tech, it's like it's going to entice people. It just doesn't. It's like you've shoehorned the big theme tune in, you've had the really fast reveal, and now we're into the film. Yeah, and it just doesn't work in some reasons. But
Bryce Dallas Howard too busy for the kids.
Yeah, too busy.
Sends like some other woman to go and look after him.
Yeah, it's her assistant. Yeah, so she sort of picks them up and takes them around the park, and they've gotten day passes and things like that. But Bryce Dallas Howard's character is sort of this busy sort of executive at the park, so she runs the park operations.
At the moment, they're trying to innovate something new to try and drum up some interest in the business. So there's a lot of investors around. She's in like a big control room. Yeah. And this bit annoys me. So you've got the guy who's from New Girl. I can't remember his name, Jake Evans or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember. I got him mixed up with someone. I thought he was. What's Poe Dameron's name from?
What's Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, I thought it was Oscar Isaac at first. I was like, is that Oscar Isaac? And then it was like, no, it's fake Oscar Isaac. Yeah, they just downgraded.
He's in Safety Not Guaranteed as well, so that's he must be mates with him. Yeah. But his character is just infuriates me. So you've got this bit, because he's wearing a Jurassic Park T-shirt. I don't know if you remember this, and so
I do remember this.
He's like talking about how this T-shirt cost me $150 because it was from the original Jurassic Park. But then he says something like, that first park was legit. They didn't need genetically modified dinosaurs to sell tickets. And the meta-ness of that comment is so, like, it's not even subtle. It's like, this is literally what they are doing when they make this film. They are just adding random genetically modified dinosaurs to make people buy tickets to see the film.
But in a way,
that frustrates me.
It's supposed to be... that's what I mean. Like, they've written that in to be a comedic sort of... like... But then you're thinking, funny. Like, no. Yeah. It's not funny at all. You never should have made this film. Yeah. Stop it. It's like it worked in the completely wrong way. Yeah. But the reason why I don't like the film so much and the reason why it doesn't work is because the film on its own doesn't stand up. No. It's not a good film. And even when it winks back to the original, like obviously other film like with other films that wink to other films in its series, it's fine, but if that film's not good, then it doesn't work. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like it has to stand on its own 2 feet. It has to be a decent film for me to go, oh, that's actually quite funny. You know, I like that actually. It's pretty decent. But
and another thing that I'm going to mention now, because you're starting to be introduced to some of the dinosaurs now. These kids are walking around the park. There's like that big water park dinosaur thing.
I can't remember what that's called.
I can't remember what the dinosaur's called. It's like a big, massive shark alligator thing.
Megalosaurus or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
one
a big
that Jason
crocodile.
Statham's going to be fighting in the new film.
Megalodon.
It's The Meg. Have you not seen the trailer for that?
The Meg.
The Meg.
Yeah, it's great. It looks great.
I can't wait to see that
It's just
film.
a stupid blockbuster.
I'd be well happy with that. I wish The Meg was more of a character in this one.
But yeah, it's like a big sort of shark, crocodile monster.
Yeah.
I think, like a dinosaur. So.
But already, this is only a couple of years after this film come out, but the CGI looks pretty dated.
Yep.
It's not good CGI at all.
It's awful.
It's really, really bad. For the dinosaurs, like, there's some bits where you're like, this doesn't look realistic whatsoever.
No.
And you would think in 22 years, they would have made some advancements, but the dinosaurs in the original look miles better.
Yeah, I don't know what company they went with Jurassic World to do the CGI on that, but they've done a really bad job, like a really bad job. I don't know who they actually go with. I don't know who's the company.
Because it was the most evident for me when you're introduced to Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt is kind of playing the Alan Grant character, but he's also a little bit more of a sort of badass, cool dude.
He's kind of an Ian Malcolm. I don't really care. Like I'm sort of just a bit too cool for that.
But he knows a lot about dinosaurs, so his character is basically he trains velociraptors, which stupid. What's the point? Absolutely, what's the point?
I don't know. It's one of those things again. Is like I don't know in what meeting someone just went in and said, you know what, velociraptors. Usually the bad guys, we'll make them the good guys. And we'll make them so that they follow humans. Yeah. It's like, no, velociraptors are the big bad people of Jurassic Park. Not people, but like, they're the bad dinosaurs of Jurassic Park.
They are the
You're
villains.
supposed to be scared when they're on scene.
Yeah.
I don't know what anyone was thinking in that film, but every time I watch it, I think velociraptors have been, like, pooed on, basically. Yeah. They just, like, they're at a disservice of Jurassic Park now. It's just
Can we have a quick little Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom tangent?
Yes.
Because...
we need to get onto that because, I mean, at this moment in time, the trailer's out.
The film is coming out in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, which I am still going to go and see it.
I'm going to go and see
because
it.
I've got my Odeon card, so it's like...
Look at you, Mr. Big Stuff.
Odeon Unlimited, £19 a month.
Sponsors, Odeon, if you're listening.
No, but I've got my card, so it's not exactly like I can't go and see it. Yeah. Like, the thing is, it's there, I might as well use it. And the thing is, for this purpose...
How much is the Odeon Unlimited card?
It is £19 or £18.99 officially.
For what, a month?
Yeah, for a month.
How many films can you see?
As many as you like.
Oh my god, can you bring people with you?
You can't.
Well, what's the point then?
You get 10% off the food, though.
Way!
Yeah, that's great. It's just, I mean... I went to see Saw for £14 the other day, so it was covered by that point. I've seen it twice, it's covered, basically. So, but it's there, I'm going to go and see it. But what were we going to say?
Well, what I was going to say is, so these velociraptors are established as being like good guys in this film. There's a few little twists and turns which we'll get onto, but there's this one that's called Blue, which is the beta to Chris Pratt's Alpha, and all that kind of stuff is kind of gross to me. I hated all that kind of stuff.
He's just hooking up with a velociraptor after work.
There's something weird about that I'm not into.
Blue, you know me, Blue. Blue. Do you know what? Every time I watch the film where Chris Pratt's talking to Blue, all I think of is Old School with Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah,
you're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
But Blue in this new film is like some kind of like superhero flying about, jumping about. Like I don't even know what this film is going to be. But anyway, we're not talking about Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to talk about this film.
I'm going to go and see it anyway. I want to see it so I can just slate it. That's the thing. It's just, I know that's horrible to say, but you just know what it's going to be like before you even see it. It's one of those Ghostbusters situations. It's just, you've seen the trailer, I've seen it, that's it. But the thing that annoys me about this new Jurassic Park film is that it's basically just stolen the storyline of Jurassic Park 2. Lost World.
Well, yeah, the whole trilogy just seems like the same film in a sense.
Yeah, they've all got like similar narratives.
Yeah,
but that one just absolutely rips off number 2. Like they go to an island, they save all the animals from the island, then they put them on for.
Is that the one with the Spikosaurus, or is that the third one?
Spikosaurus. That's the third one. Yeah, with the phone in his belly. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Every time, you know what's funny actually, because every time I speak to Amy about my girlfriend about Jurassic Park, she says
humble brag.
Yeah, humble. she's like every time I speak to her, she's like, oh yeah, that one with the phone in the is that Jurassic Park? And I'm like, no, that's Jurassic.
Whoa.
There you go.
What was that?
Letterbox. every time I speak to her about Jurassic Park, she's like, the one with the phone in the belly. I'm like, no, it's not Jurassic Park, it's Jurassic Park 3. She's like, oh damn, like I thought it was that one.
That one is, it's kind of memorable. It does have some it does have some bits. I know we give it a bad rap.
It's just a pretty good film. It's just,
I tell you what, it's definitely better than this film.
Yeah,
we're trying desperately not to talk about.
What were you going to say about Kingdom?
That was all I wanted to say. Is that
right.
why is Blue like its own character now when it was boring in this one?
Yeah, they've just sort of like they've developed a velociraptor that everyone thinks, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
but no one really cares
so
about.
Chris Pratt trains these velociraptors. Vincent
D'Onofrio.
Kingpin.
That'll do. Kingpin plays some crazy military guy.
Yeah, and he wants the dinosaurs. He wants the velociraptors to go and fight in wars or some kind of mental stuff.
I think just talking about the story makes me cringe. Like, who wrote this crap? Like, we want them to be like some superhuman sort of army tank that can't be killed.
Yeah,
they can scuttle through tunnels with bombs and stuff. It's like
stupid.
What?
Because he's talking about, like, he's saying stuff about how drones can be hacked, but dinosaurs can't be, and it's like, dinosaurs! Like, they're just going to turn around and literally kill you at any point.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, anyway, he wants to use the velociraptors as a sort of weapon.
Yeah.
So he tries to convince Owen, who's Chris Pratt's character, to let him access to the velociraptors.
Yeah. And can we just have a quick little Chris Pratt tangent?
There's so many tangents.
Well, just because in this film, why is Chris Pratt taking the place of Megan Fox in Transformers? He's like such an... Yeah. He's hardly got his top on, or he's got it like riding up his stomach. There's that one bit where he's like trying to fix his bike, and the sweat's like glistening on him,
and his shirt's slightly
undone, and it's like this is literally Megan Fox in Transformers fixing the car.
Well, you know, if women can be eye candy on screen, so can
yeah.
Men. But yeah, it's a selling point of the film. It's like basically the guys who love Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I want to go and see this film, and their girlfriend's like, I'm not going to go see that with you. And it's like, it's got Chris Pratt in it. Yeah, let's go then, let's go.
Are you a Chris Pratt fan?
I am a Chris Pratt fan. I love Chris Pratt, but I don't love Chris Pratt in Jurassic World.
No, he's not very good.
No.
He's really not very good. Bryce Dallas Howard has a couple of moments where I'm like, yeah, you know what, she's not bad, she's decent. But
I can't agree, but
the one thing that really annoys me about Bryce Dallas Howard is that she's got heels on literally the entirety of the film.
I was about to say that.
The whole film she's wearing heels, and it's like, just take them off.
More specifically, James, she has heels on while she's running from a T-Rex.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Oh, I don't.
But hey, news.
Should we cancel the podcast?
In the second one, she didn't have heels on anyway.
Hey!
Great.
I might watch it now.
Jesus.
So
anyway,
what happens next?
Yeah, so
there's like the bad dinosaur.
Yeah, so basically they've created, so Henry Wu from the first film is the head geneticist at Jurassic World. So he's been asked by Maserati, who's the boss of Jurassic World. So he's basically a big, he's the owner basically. He works for InGen.
So there's loads of product placement in this film. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
There's like the cars are all Mercedes cars. Even like the Jurassic Park Jeeps are like Mercedes Jeeps. There's like stuff about Verizon buying the park, which is like an American mobile network.
Well, this is how they generate loads of money.
Yeah.
This is the point. Like,
but it was kind of gross. I didn't like it.
No, but that's what I mean. This is the modern day. Like, if you sell your film to companies, then you can... Basically, the advertising of that film was everywhere. And that's why. Because obviously, companies just pay them, and then they can just... They can just turn it into revenue for their advertising, which is why probably it got so many people to go and see it.
Yeah.
And this is the problem with like films like Solo, where they haven't got as much of an advertising presence, and then they don't generate money. But yeah, it's very gross. It's very sellout.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with it. Maserati, who's the owner of Jurassic World, he's asked Henry Wu to create something special, like a genetically modified sort of dinosaur, because of the revenue about dinosaurs. Like, the revenue for the park's going down because people have seen dinosaurs before, so they're getting a bit bored. So Claire goes to Owen, who's Chris Pratt's character, and says, I need you to look at this dinosaur. I need you to confirm that it's going to scare people, and I need you to basically give me an opinion about what kind of habitat it needs to be in, and if it's safe and blah blah, this sort of thing. So he's like, okay, I'll come along. So they go and see it. And, for that sort of 5 minutes of the film, I thought, this could be saved. It's actually quite a terrifying. Like the first instance where he gets into the park, you see the claw marks in the wall, and like
that bit's interesting. Yeah, because
you don't see it, and
the dinosaur is like it can camouflage.
Yeah, it's got camouflage. It can see thermal. It's got hearing.
Yeah.
It's I think that's about it. Really.
Yeah, it is. It is scary. It's it's like a white color.
It's kind of like a one of those sharks, like a albino shark.
Yeah, so it's got quite a good look when you eventually see it. But so Chris Pratt goes there and things start going wrong. So they lower in, it's like a goat or something to feed it with, and Chris Pratt is talking about how the only relationship this dinosaur's got, if it's always been in captivity, is with this crane. So if it's been kept in captivity and it's solitary, it's gonna go mental and break out and start killing everyone. And Bryce Dallas Howard says how it did have there were two of them, but it killed the other one, sort of thing. Yeah. So they lower down this goat to feed it with, and it's nowhere to be seen. And they start looking at the cameras, and it says there's no presence. There's no dinosaur there.
That's when you find out that it's actually cold-blooded.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't see it.
The thermal cameras don't work. So they look to the side and find these claw marks that go down the side of the wall. They think it could have like climbed out or something like that.
So they go into the pen.
Him and like the random fat guy who's just eating donuts.
Basically, let's have a character that can't run away from a dinosaur, even though a woman can run away in heels. Let's get a fat guy who can't run.
I love how annoyed you are about it, Josh.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like, let's have a throwaway character that's not Chris Pratt that we can kill. Like in the first film, let's just get characters you care about and we'll kill them. That is bravery. This one's just like, oh, there's some random worker who works at the bloody desk and it's like, oh, he's dead.
So the dinosaur appears, it looks kind of scary. They try and run away from it. The fat guy gets eaten, and as they're trying to open the gate to let Chris Pratt out, the dinosaur manages to burst its way out as well.
Yes, and that is where that scene right there is where the film just dies on its arse again, because you see the dinosaur, and it's like, oh wow, that's it. Right, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah,
like obviously.
That's one of the things about the T-Rex is that it was teased so much.
Yeah, and it's like you see little bits and then you see the whole thing.
And they talk about
dark and it's moody. Yeah. Again, the lighting, it's like the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And it's a white bloody dinosaur. And it's like, I'm not scared by this at all. The CGI is terrible.
Yeah.
You know, it's thermal. Oh, God. Wow.
Chris Pratt hides under a car, pours gasoline all over himself.
Yeah, which is quite smart. I like that.
That's kind of cool. The dinosaur like rips open the other car.
Yeah.
But it's not even in a cool way. So like the T-Rex in the original Jurassic Park like bites open the tires and it's got like rubber all over its mouth, and that looks brilliant. It looks really cool. Whereas this is just because it's so CGI, just looks really boring.
But yeah, it's called the Indominus Rex. That's the name.
That's it. Yeah.
It's like a mixture of a. Well, you find out later in the film, it's a mixture of a T-Rex and a velociraptor. So they mix it together. Well, it's not spoilers. Well, in a bit, spoilers.
Yeah, well, I guess the only reason it would be classed as a spoiler is because Chris Pratt keeps asking, "What is this dinosaur?
Yeah, what's
it made out of?
Yeah, what's it made of? Which dinosaurs have you mixed?" Because he can't give an honest opinion about it unless he knows what's been made. Because that's the reason she asks him really secretly, I think. Because she doesn't tell him, but that's the reason she goes to him because he works with the velociraptors.
Yeah, exactly.
So. It breaks out. It disappears into the sort of edges of the park because it's been built. The pen's been built on the edge of the park so that the visitors don't see it.
So the park goes into lockdown. They try and evacuate everyone.
Yes. Well, actually, they don't evacuate everyone yet. They just lock it down. To.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They lock it down first. They make everyone. They stop all the rides.
That they're going to grab. They think that they're going to grab the T-Rex, the Indominus Rex, before it gets to the pen, to the pens and stuff.
And that, to be fair, that was one bit I actually liked. So the kids have run away from their like nanny character, and they're about to go into these cool glass ball things. Yeah. And there's one character who's the guy who runs the park, and he gets the notification through. Yeah. He gets the notification through that he's got to put the park on lockdown. These kids have just gone into the ball. He's like, have a nice time. And then he gets the call through about it, and he's like, I'm sorry, everyone, I've got to shut the park. And they're all like booing him, and he's just like, come on, guys, I just work here. And it's like, he's so relatable. Like,
yeah, he is relatable, yeah.
Fair play. So these kids are in a giant hamster ball, rolling about, looking at dinosaurs.
Yep. And then
They get the alert that they need to go back to the park, and the older one is like...
And Jimmy Fallon makes a really shitty cameo.
Well, really bad cameo. The older kid says something about how they've got these passes, they can go anywhere, they don't need to go back.
Yeah, he just gets arrogant as per usual.
Yeah, they go rolling in some place where they clearly shouldn't be going.
Yeah, there's like a hole in the fence, or like a gate that's open, and they roll out of the thing. Well, he says, "Oh, well, we can go everyone. We'll go around there." So he takes his brother into the sort of outskirts of the pen, where there's a couple of free roaming triceratops or...
No, they're the ones with the cool clubs on there.
They're kind of armadillo ones, aren't they? Like a little bit.
Armadillo ones?
Yeah, they look like armadillos. With big... yeah, they got like a kind of like dome on their back with spikes. Kind of.
Okay. I'll let it slide. Yeah, those armadillo dinosaurs.
Yeah, those armadillo ones. Yeah, with the big clubs on the back.
Big clubs on the back of them, and then as there's a really cringy scene where the young annoying kid is like, "Oh, there's 5 dinosaurs," and the old annoying kid is like, "No, there's only 4. Can't you count? I thought you were this genius." And he's like, "No, there's 5." And then the big Andromedus Rex is just behind them, and it's like, oh my god, this is so cringy.
Yeah, because he sees the reflection. It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
And then, to be fair, I actually kind of like this scene where the kids are stuck in the hamster ball and the dinosaur's trying to bite down on it, but he can't get his teeth on it, and he's just like sliding off. It's kind of funny.
But again, it's like, you remember that? Do you remember that scene in Jurassic Park where the kids are in the car?
Yeah.
And then the T-Rex comes in the top of it. Let's do that again.
Yeah.
Remember this bit? You remember that bit?
Yeah, it is a lot of that. We have actually missed one other bit that I found kind of funny, which is where they're in this hamster ball, and one turns to the other and goes, "Where are all the dinosaurs?" And then literally 0 seconds later, they're like, "Oh, they're there." And they were like right in front of these massive dinosaurs. How did we miss them? What was the point in that line?
I don't really know.
What's the reason for anything happening?
What's the reason for the film? That's the question. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, the film just spends so much time saying, "Oh, do you remember that scene in the first film?" And you're thinking, "Yeah, I do. Maybe we should just go and watch that."
Yeah,
and it's just like
so much. There's one other bit that I kind of like, which is where Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are now trying to find these kids because these kids have run away, so they're trying to track them down and bring them back to safety. And they find a dead dinosaur, and they use a puppet for that, and that bit was cool. And the dead puppet dinosaur is like breathing heavily, and it's
and it
kind
steals
of sad.
the show.
Yeah,
it steals the show, and that's the only puppet in the whole film.
Yeah, and the camera pans, and you see that all the dinosaurs are dead on the floor, and you're like, wow, this bad guy dinosaur, scary and a good killer, and B, why can't these puppets more often?
But and it proves the point. Like the puppet. I mean, whereas the puppet in that film doesn't look too great because they probably just threw it along. They're like, "Oh, we need to put a animatronic one in there. Just make one up really quick and we'll stick it in." Then, like, you're right in the fact that if you hadn't seen the whole dinosaur at that point, you think, "Oh, like what is it? Like, oh, this is actually quite scary." Like, because there's like millions of dead brontosauruses and they're huge. But then, like, by that point, you've already seen the dinosaur. It's not that scary.
Yeah, it's not that scary.
So you're thinking like, "Oh yeah, kill a lot of things." Yeah, whatever.
So there's the really annoying bit now where the kids... I don't even want to talk about this. The kids find the Jurassic Park Jeep, and in the background...
There's a bit before that, just to say, where they send that team after it and it kills them all.
Yeah, I kind of like that scene.
It's alright.
I kind of like that scene.
Okay. Yeah, it's fair.
So they've sent like a SWAT team to go and kill the dinosaur, and...
capture.
Yeah.
You've got like nets and stuff on
Yeah, they've got non-lethal weapons, so they've got like stun guns and nets and yeah.
Great.
But the dinosaur does literally tear through them all, and it's kind of cool because you see on the screen them all dying like one after the other, and it just flatlines.
Now you see if we hadn't seen the dinosaur before that scene, and the way it sort of like the blood drips on him, and then he looks
cool.
up. But the way it sort of like it comes out of the camouflage.
That's brilliant, I think.
If you hadn't seen the dinosaur before that scene, would you have been more interested?
Yeah, I think that bit is actually really good. I had it down on my notes, so it was like, it actually looks pretty badass when it camouflages, because it does look like the trees, and then it just moves out and shimmers and like appears. And there's also like a random bit where it says it's ripped out its own tracker because it remembered where it was.
Yeah, because he picks up the tracker and that's where he sees the blood drops on him. But like,
So-
yeah, it's weird. You remember where he put the tracker in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's a velociraptor. It's smart. That's why.
So these kids find the Jurassic Park Jeep, and you've got the little twinkly Jurassic Park theme in the background. It's like, yes, I have watched Jurassic Park. I know what this Jeep is. You don't need to keep doing this.
Oh my god, is that the visitor centre from the first film? Hey, do you remember the visitor centre from the first film and that banner falling on the floor? Do you remember that? Yeah, I might go just go and watch it. How about that?
So the Maserati guy gets sent in a helicopter to go somewhere and do something, and crashes and breaks through some glass and sends all the pterodactyls out.
Well, yeah. So the Indominus Rex, they track it. They track it down to the original park.
Yeah.
So Claire and Owen, they track it down to there. So they're on the path basically to find the kids. So they track it down to the original visitor centre, and they get stuck there with it.
Yeah.
And then the SWAT team turns up and starts like shooting at it, so it runs away towards the pterodactyl enclosure. So it breaks through the pterodactyl enclosure. What happens there?
The Maserati guy, he's like learning how to fly a helicopter.
Yeah.
And he crashes into the big glass dome that shatters it, and that's when all the pterodactyls come flying out.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the reason he crashes is because the pterodactyl's flight is... Yeah, so it kind of happens simultaneously. It's like... Yeah, the helicopter crashes through the thing, and then all the... Yeah, then all the pterodactyls come at him, and then he blows it up, and the Indominus Rex actually walking through the enclosure. I don't know why they...
Yeah.
I don't know why the Indominus Rex...
wanted like a cool explosion behind the Andromedus Rex.
Trailer shot.
Yeah.
Right, okay, great. I don't know why the Indominus Rex is there.
Can we just talk about the pterodactyls for 1 sec? Because there's normal pterodactyls, and then there's like weird, gross, dog-faced pterodactyls.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Don't know.
What's the difference?
Don't know.
They look gross.
They thought they had to have a bit of
variation.
Yeah. Oh, you've not seen these before? They're new.
Oh, I've got another fun fact for you.
Oh, go on.
I should have said this a lot earlier because I can't imagine anyone's still listening to this because I think we've been going for about 2 hours now.
Is this 2
I
hours?
think it's about 2 hours.
Oh, we'll have to cut this down. We'll have to just skip out the solo bit, I think.
But I just want to mention how they made the dinosaur noises. So the T-Rex was mainly the sound of a baby elephant doing like a baby elephant noise mixed with like a few other things, so like
lions and
stuff to make the roar, that like iconic roar. But the velociraptors, they've got like a little barking sound, which is when they're like near each other, they go like bah, bah. Yeah,
like a seal.
Do you know what noise that is?
Don't know.
Tortoises having sex.
Really?
True story.
Wow.
So fun fact for you there.
Tortoises having sex is velociraptors.
Yeah.
It's true.
Next time you watch it though, you'll be like...
Just think about that.
Yeah, because I read it before I watched the film and I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Because it actually sounds like when you watch it again. So we'll skip a bunch of plot here, but basically the kids are reunited with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. They go back to the sort of main resort area of the park. The pterodactyls have burst out and are killing people left, right and centre. There's the kind of cool bit where the kids are running away from a pterodactyl and the pterodactyl has been like hit by something and it skids and the beak of it is like inches away from them. It's kind of a little cool scene.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah. But from this point on, it's very by the numbers. So the kids say something about... So the Andromedus Rex is also there, causing chaos, and the kids say something about how they're going to need more teeth to kill it, and this gives Bryce Dallas Howard the genius idea.
Although, I mean, before this, actually, we missed another bit. In the visitor centre, they go in there and they try and find people around.
Yeah.
And they see Henry. They find Henry Wu, who said like, "Oh yeah, we crossed like Velociraptor with this, blah blah blah." It's all revealed. Actually, we've missed the whole thing.
We have missed the chase scene, haven't we?
Yeah. They send the. Yeah,
we have missed that whole bit. So basically, what happens is Chris Pratt is tasked with going and tracking down the Andromedus Rex.
Does this always happen with films where we just forget the whole point because they're that poor?
Yeah, I think because the plot doesn't really flow. It's like a lot of random things happening in succession. So they get the idea to use the Velociraptors to go and chase after the Andromedus Rex. And there's the scene where he's in the bike and the Velociraptors are racing near him, and it's alright. Vincent D'Onofrio's like taken over now.
Yeah, so he basically says like, I'm going to do this, and you've got no power to stop me because I'm the head of InGen now. So, basically
because the boss guy
Maserati
died.
died. So he was like, basically, I'm going to send these velociraptors to find this thing. Get on board or don't.
Oh, don't.
So they're racing towards the place where they can basically sniff out. Like they've used the bit where they clawed out to smell it.
Yeah.
So the velociraptors know where it is. So velociraptors finally find it.
And then
Owen and his team
are about to shoot it, but then the Andromedus Rex talks to the velociraptors, and that's where it's revealed that this dinosaur is part of Velociraptor,
which is it's cool. It's a cool idea.
Yeah, because all the velociraptors turn and look at Owen.
Yeah.
And because they've all got little cameras on the side, you can see on the screen that that's who they're looking at.
But it's a nice little twist. It's like, oh, Velociraptor. Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But
there are a couple of good ideas in this film. It's just the execution is so poor.
Yeah, it's so poor.
That it just doesn't work. So
it doesn't work eventually. So that's when the Velociraptors go a bit rogue.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then obviously when they get into the bit where the pterodactyls attack the park, they get stuck in the visitor centre because they're looking for people who are running the show, like get these people off the island.
Yeah.
And Henry Wu's trying to escape with some embryos for the genetically modified stuff. He's trying to save all the research that he's done.
He is, yeah.
And then Hutchins, who's Vincent D'Onofrio guy, or Higgins or something, I don't know what his name is. But he turns up and he's saying basically like, these embryos are leaving because we need them.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be bred for war or whatever. And that's when the Velociraptors attack the visitor centre. Don't know where I've seen that one before. But the visitor centre is attacked by the Velociraptors. They kill Hutchins, whatever his name is.
Yeah, they rip his hand off, don't they?
Yeah, and then they chase Owen and Claire and the kids outside, and that's where the Indominus Rex shows up.
Yeah.
And the Velociraptors start fighting them. Yeah. And then they say we need more teeth. So that's where they get to the infamous scene.
Yeah.
Where she wakes up the T-Rex enclosure. Well, she goes into the T-Rex enclosure with a flare. Yeah. While she's got high heels on.
Yeah.
She's got a flare in front of the face of a T-Rex. Yeah. It's the T-Rex from the first film.
Yeah, which is baffling because it's chronological, this film. So this T-Rex has got to be an old boy now.
Yeah, it's old. It's really old. So she sort of like flares it up, runs outside, sends it the Indominus Rex's way. They have a battle.
And the Blue is there as well.
Yeah, Blue's there. She most of the T-Rexes get killed. Well, most of the Velociraptors get killed. So yeah. Blue's helping out. The T-Rex and the Indominus Rex battle it out for a bit, and then they get caught. Well, they get caught near the water's edge. Yeah. And
the Meg.
The Meg comes along and eats the crap out of it.
And we've skipped one other bit, which I just want to quickly mention, which is when they brutally kill the nanny of the kids.
Oh yeah,
it's horrific.
Yeah, she gets picked up by a pterodactyl and then dropped into the jaws.
They drop her into the water, and then the pterodactyl swoops down, picks her back up, and it was like dropping her on her head to kill her. And then as the pterodactyl is trying to fly up and eat her, the Meg comes up and clamps down on him and eats them both. Yeah. Which it looks brilliant, but brutal. Absolutely brutal.
You need a bit of brutal in there, don't you, though? I mean, if it's going to be a 12-8, it's going to be brutal.
So the Meg then eats the...
at the end of the film, the Meg eats the Indominus Rex, which is a real cop-out. Yeah. And then, I mean, I won't talk about the end of the film, because I think we're at the end of the film now. Everyone's fine, the kids go back to their parents, whatever. But...
Can I talk about my other favourite extra before we do that?
Yeah, go on.
So... As the pterodactyls are swooping down everywhere, there's one who just decides to pick up 2 cocktails and run off with them.
Really?
Yeah. If you watch it again,
I've not seen that.
These pterodactyls swooping everywhere, and everyone's running panicked, and one just goes, "I'm taking these."
Yeah, I've got my cocktails. I'm going. Fair play.
He's great.
But we've got to talk about the point of the film. Yeah. That really sinks it into the grave. I mean, it's fallen on its arse twice now, but this bit is. It's the worst part of a film I've ever seen in my life. It's the bit where the Indominus Rex has just been eaten. Yeah. And about 20 years of Jurassic Park lore is just buried into the sand.
I know the bit you mean now.
Where the T-Rex and the Velociraptor just sort of look at each other, think, should we fight? No, probably not. Yeah. And I swear to God, every time I watch it, I think, you know what? You might as well just CGI'd a wink in there. You might as well have had the T-Rex winking at that Velociraptor, cheers, mate. See you in a bit. And then they just get off. Yeah. It's like, what? In what world of Jurassic Park would a T-Rex and a velociraptor team up?
It's awful. There's also, we've missed like one gross line that I hate, which is where Blue is there, about to attack the Andromedus Rex, and the kids are like asking Chris Pratt, like, who's the alpha now? And he's just like, you're looking at him, kid.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It's so bad.
It's awful.
Oh, and I hate that the T-Rex is like this Deus Ex Machina, like this random thing that just appears to solve all the problems.
It's like, hey, you need
stupid.
You got a problem? Who are you gonna call?
T-Rex.
And it's got a new name. It's called Rexy.
Rexy. Oh, it's so gross.
You know that one from JP1.
Swear to God, if the T-Rex is in Fallen Kingdom, that is
it's
it.
in
I'm
Fallen Kingdom.
Walking out of that cinema.
It's in Fallen Kingdom.
Absolutely not.
It's on the island still, isn't it? It's roaming around at the end. It's the same one in the trailer. You know where they're in the ball and they get the volcano. By the way, who builds a park on an active volcano island? It makes no sense. It kind of devoids as well. It devoids the first film because they should have known.
Yeah,
there was a volcano. There was never a volcano on there.
There is like a mountain in the middle of it, but I thought it was just like plastic.
Yeah,
you know, like Walt Disney Kingdom.
Oh, now it's a volcano, is it? Oh, right. I say, they would have built it there, wouldn't they?
So, how do you feel about Jurassic World, Josh?
I hate it.
I've never seen you so violently, because you weren't as angry about Ghostbusters as you are about this.
No, but it's such. I love Jurassic Park so much, but it's so ruined. And the fact that when you speak to people like, oh yeah, it was really great, and it's like,
absolutely not.
No. Because I don't know what it is with people. They just accept rubbish.
Yeah.
And especially for that, like, the film just doesn't hold up. If the film held up on itself, I mean, fine. Okay, but it's just not a good film. No, it's not a good film. It's okay for blockbustery popcorn. Yeah, let's go and see it in the summer. Yeah, it's got a few good action sequences. Blah blah. Blah. I mean, I don't know about kids. I think I can understand that kids will probably like it because it's like.
To be fair, I don't even know if kids will like it, just because it means they would have had to have watched Jurassic Park to get anything out of it, really.
Well, I don't know, because it's kind of a reintroduction, isn't it? It's like
it's a reboot.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. It's a reboot, but that's what I mean. Like, you don't really, if you're a kid and you watch that, it's like, oh, dinosaurs.
It's kind of scary, and it's kind of dark, and it's kind of plotty. Like, there's all the divorce stuff, which is really boring and keeps being referred to, and then there's the love story. Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt went on a date once and never went on a date again, and now they're in love with each other, and it's just
you say that with such disdain.
Oh my god, it's so awful.
So what do you think of it?
I thought it was terrible. Even last night, I think, full disclosure, I think I kind of liked it when I watched it at the cinema. And that might just be one of those things where watching it at the cinema...
Just because you're at the cinema?
Yeah, and I was with people who really liked Jurassic Park, and obviously I love Jurassic Park, so all the dinosaurs were cool. As I've been saying throughout, there were bits that I found that were really cool in this film. Like, there were some great ideas, and there were a few bits where, like, the camouflage and the ball and all that kind of stuff, where I was like, this is interesting and engaging and action-packed. And it is action-packed. It is action-packed from start to finish. It's action. There's not really a lot of downtime.
It's not devoid of action, really.
No. But there was just some sort of soullessness about it. It just lacked its own identity. And for that, I can't really forgive it, so...
I cannot forgive you. No. I'm not. It's like Lando.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it.
So that's it, really. Do you think it should have been rebooted?
No. I think it should have been... I don't mind sequels to franchise films, but the fact that they're trying to reinvigorate it and make it something fresh, it didn't need it. Yeah. Jurassic Park is one thing, and there's no need to change that. It's just, it is what it is. It is Jurassic Park. Yeah. But, like, I feel like in these new films, they're just like, oh, we're going with a genetic route kind of way. Like, we need to make new dinosaurs. You've seen all this before. It's a meta. Yeah. It's such a meta thing. It's like, you've seen all these dinosaurs in previous Jurassic Parks, but it's like, that's why we watch them. Because it's like, they're good. That's the reason. But yeah, no, I don't think it should have been removed. No, I agree. 100% agree. And I can't believe it. Well, I can't believe it's still going, because it literally made all the money in the universe. So yeah, it's going to happen. So that was Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Yeah. So that's that one down and done with.
Should we have a little minute to say we are on social media? Because have we done that before?
Yeah, I think we did last time.
Did we do that last time?
Yeah, I think we did last time in the Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
But I can't remember.
We're on Twitter.
Yeah.
At the Rebooters.
At the Rebooters.
We're on Facebook. The Rebooters.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
We're on YouTube as well.
Yeah, if you prefer to listen to stuff on YouTube, you can listen to it on YouTube. But otherwise,
but you can get the podcast on iTunes. You can also get it on other.
Yeah, I think it should be available on Spotify soon as well. If you want to listen to it that way.
Yeah.
What are we going to be talking about next time? I've just had a little look through my list, and I don't know if you want to have a look and see what you think about some of them.
Aren't we supposed to have this planned out in advance?
No. What are you talking
about? Give us 2 minutes so I have a look.
I'm
What do you feel like?
Right,
Should we have a poll?
A poll?
A poll?
A poll?
A poll. A poll.
A poll?
I don't know how you pronounce it. Should we have a poll online?
We could do.
We should have. I mean, if no one votes for it, we'll just do what we want. But
I say we next time we do a superhero film.
Yeah, could it? Yeah.
And if you would like to vote, there are 3 superhero films that we've been looking at doing.
Yes.
So one of them is Batman and Batman Begins.
Yep.
One of them is Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man Homecoming.
So that's 3.
It's like a triple one.
Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. And then the third one, which is my number one choice, Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four. Because I like to put Josh through hell. And just because I have not seen the new I've not seen Spider-Man Homecoming. Mm-hmm. I've not seen the new Fantastic Four.
Oh god.
So either way,
you're in for a treat.
Yeah,
you're in for a treat.
I maybe we'll leave Batman and Batman Begins. I might put it on the poll. I might not. You'll see.
Well, I think we'll just do that in the future again. But if we'll put it all for a poll.
Yeah.
And if people. If anyone ends up voting, fair enough. But if not, we'll just do one of them. It doesn't really matter. So
that's it. Have we got a sign off?
No, just tune in next time and make sure you like and follow the page.
Yeah, reviews as well. I've submitted my own review for this podcast.
This is a great podcast. I've never seen anything like this before.
So if we eventually do get any reviews, we'll read out any that are funny or interesting.
Yeah, write some funny ones, please, because I like them.
Yeah. But otherwise, see you next time.
See you then.